Well, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you guys are in the world. This is the Chef Katrina, and thanks guys for joining me on this live hangout to answer some questions about Google Plus. Just excited to have you guys here and just kind of go over some basic training, show you guys what this is all about. But in all honesty, I hate doing webinars and hangouts by myself. So I'm actually looking for a few volunteers who would actually like to come into the hangout with me and hang out and ask your questions live with me. Actually be here with me. We can kind of get some dialogue going back and forth because I really believe that this is much more entertaining and much more beneficial if we are doing this together. So if you guys are ready to get going and want to know a little bit more about Google Plus and how it works and how to use this not only to continue building your business, but how we're using this and why we're using this as our platform for Elite Marketing Pro and the Elite Marketing Pro 60-Day Challenge. So, sorry, nose itch. Ooh, or I'm going to sneeze, one of the two. So for everybody that's on here, I know we're going to start, wait a few minutes, see who else jumps on with us. But I am looking for a couple of cohorts in crime. I do love when I have people jump in and just kind of hang out and just have a little fun. Oh, my Q&A is disabled. Wait a minute. Let's go back. I'll be right back. Holy smackerels. The Q&A is disabled. All right, guys. Hold on real quick. I want to get the Q&A turned on. I think I turned it off accidentally, so give me a minute. I'll be right back, and we'll do this again. Oh, we can't do it. If I do that, we're not going to be able to do this live. All right, here's the deal, guys. I know I've got a couple of you guys watching us, and since I can't get the Q&A enabled, I'm going to go ahead and post the link so you guys can jump in with me. So whoever jumps in here first, we are going to bring you in live with me because apparently I can't ask the Q&A unless I get outside on the outside of this window. So where you guys are currently watching it, you guys can use that as a Q&A portion. Silly me, I forgot to enable that piece real quick. But if you guys are ready to rock or have any questions, let's go ahead and ask some questions there. And for those that want to jump in with me, I'm just now posting the link to view this. So if you guys want to come inside and ask questions and pick my brain about Google+, I'll do my best to answer what I know. I don't know everything, but I know quite a bit to successfully start building a lot of good relationships and having a lot of fun here. So jump on in. Let's have a little fun. And word to your note, if you guys do jump in, please make sure you stop this recording that you're currently watching. Otherwise, we're going to get some ugly feedback coming back into this. Just because I've seen it happen before, and I want to kind of avoid it for the next time. So if you guys would like to jump in, ask a couple of questions, that would be awesome. Wait a few minutes because I know it takes a little bit of time for you guys to catch up to me. And then we will definitely jump in and have a little bit of fun. Because I know you guys are watching. Like I said, it's always much more entertaining when you guys can come inside and ask your questions live to me. It just makes it more entertaining. And I can't believe I forgot to turn on that one little button. Ugh. See? Even I make mistakes, so we'll just find another way around it. So, like I said, if anybody wants to join in, we're in just a few more minutes. We'll give you guys about one more minute just talking. It's a beautiful day. I'm here in Florida, for those that don't know. Looks like we're about to have rain again. It's wonderful. Best thing about Florida is this, even though we're called the Sunshine State, I think we get more rain than we get sun some days. Because it's always raining during the summertime here in Florida. It is what it is, and it is what we have. So if you guys want to jump in, jump in. Otherwise, we are going to go ahead and show you some fun things about the Google Plus community and what it can do for you, why we're using this, how to tag people, how to communicate people. Hey, fantastic. We've got Gary joining us. Yay! I had a feeling you were going to jump in. I was looking at those and like, I think Gary's going to jump in on this one. You're currently on mute, so you're going to have to unmute yourself first before you add anything. This is a good little practice for those of you guys coming in. At the top of your screen on there, there should be a little bar that drops down. What's got a little person, got a little mute button. There you go. Yep, there's your mute again. Unmute, yep. And then you also have the ability to turn on and off camera so that you can either be seen live or you can be seen by your Google Plus icon. So that is something you can do. The next little one is the band setting, then you've got the setting overall. So a couple of different features that you have on there.
Okay.
Is this your first time in a Hangout, Gary?
Yes.
Welcome. See, you're learning something new already.
Okay.
So the beauty of a Hangout is it's kind of like a voice phone call or a video phone call. So
like Skype.
Yeah, you can actually do this. I mean, I've been on Google Hangouts with people in Australia, in UK. I mean, these things are great. I met a guy in Norway. He was trying to sell me his MLM. But it's a great way to kind of break down that barrier of like, who are you really? And set up a Hangout and just hang out with people. So this is a really cool feature to have.
Yeah. All right.
So have you done anything on the Google Plus platform? Like, do you have any questions so far? Is there anything that you're specifically looking at or want to know more about in terms of how to use Google Plus?
Yeah, I'm assuming it's similar to Facebook in a way. So, and with the little plus thing, I'm assuming that's like a like, so it's just like an acknowledgement. If someone does something, you give them a plus to like it or acknowledge it, and things along that line. I've been posting links to my blogs on my Google Plus account, but that's about the extent of what I've been doing. I haven't been doing any interaction. Like, I don't go in there. Like on Facebook, I'll go to groups and comment and share my link to my blog or something on there. Oh, got a visitor. But I haven't done any of that with Google Plus, so that was where I was looking at, like, what type of interaction should I be doing on that to build my following and get my message out there more.
Okay.
That's what I need help with.
All right. Well, I'm going to do the ability. What I love about the Google Hangouts too is that we can do screen shares. So I'm actually going to show my Google Plus screen, and I'm going to show you some of the interactions that I do, some of the things that you guys can do also. So if you have any questions along the way, as I'm kind of explaining different things that you can do on here, just ask. Is that cool?
Yep.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead. And if you ever want to do a screen share, if you ever decide to do a Hangout yourself and you want to do a screen share, on the left-hand side, if you were to kind of move your mouse over that, you'll get like a sidebar that shows up. The third one down looks like a little green screen with an arrow. If you click on that, it brings up a couple of options for you to share your screen. Typically, if you want to be able to move from a screen to a screen, so like say I'm on this one, but I want to show you maybe a Facebook screen or something, the best thing to use is the entire screen, because entire screen will allow people to see all the movements. If you only choose one, what happens is if you move off that screen, nobody else can see what you're doing. So if you guys are playing in here, that's going to be something that's really important for you to kind of look at. And you may not see this from the outside, guys, but we're just kind of talking you through. So if you hear about this or whatever, it's going to be kind of important for you guys to know this also. So I'm going to show you guys my screen. And this is going to get a little crazy. And that's the fun part of all this. All right, I'm going to actually play on my other Google account because I'm definitely much more interactive over on this side. So with Google Plus, the couple things I want you guys to first take off from this is make sure that you guys are creating your circles, okay, or creating your people groups. For everybody that's inside the EMP community, you can actually set up your own circle for those people, okay? So what kind of differs from Facebook is that I can actually just send email or just post to you and the people that are in those communities. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So you can have your circles, which is what we have up here. And then all you have to do is just basically create your circle. So whoever you want to name it, whatever. So like I have one for all my EMP family. So if you come across me inside of Google and I notice that you're part of the Elite Marketing Pro community, you get added into my circle. So whatever name you want to create for it, you just have a name. You can do the description. Let people, let you know what that circle's about, because otherwise you could end up with a lot of circles and not know how you get there. And then you can add people to that. So as you can see here, I've got quite a few different circles in here. I have everything from marketing to social media and so forth. My magnetic sponsoring family is here. So back when, and I use this also. This is my little cheat sheet for you guys. For those that are watching, this is kind of preemptive to what we're going to be talking about for social media. But when you guys find people inside your leads in your EMP back office, if they have a Google Plus account, like a Gmail, right? Add them to your, like go to Google, put in their email address, and it'll actually pop up that person, and then add them to your, maybe your Elite Marketing Pro lead, or maybe it's a magnetic sponsoring lead, or a video, the new YouTube video lead. And you can add them into these circles, and that way what happens is that you can constantly just email those people or just have conversations with those circles about your content or anything Elite Marketing Pro. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's a really interesting tool to use for that. So you create your circles, and like you'll see, there's quite a few people you may recognize inside this circle. This is pretty much everybody that I've come across that it's in here. And like I said, as they friend me, I friend them. So what happens, and I want to show you how this guys all works out in the overall scheme of things. When I create a post, as it loads up here. So if I want to say, hey, doing a test, sending this to you. So I'm just going to do that one. I'm going to remove the basics here. So this is where you guys kind of have a little bit of fun. And I'm going to go ahead and say I want to add people in here. So maybe I want to go to one of my circles, and I want it to be just my family that I want them to send this to. So everybody that's in my family, right? Hey, this is Tess sending this to you. When I send this, it's only going to go to those people that are in my family. Nobody else is going to see them. Nobody else is going to know about them. This is a great little tool that I love about Google Plus, because you can't do this. You can and you can't with Facebook, but I find it's just much more intuitive to do it in here. It's just real easy to set up, get people into those certain circles, and then just market to them over and over again. Does that make sense?
Can you have someone in more than one circle?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I have people in multiple circles depending on where they're at. Like I have a bloggers, like my blogging course that I have has people in there, but they're also now people in my EMP group. So I have people in my blogging course, people in my EMP group, and then people that are friends. So they're actually in 3 different circles, but that's fine because that's where I put them depending on what conversation I want to have with them.
Yeah. Okay.
So that is a really nice piece about this in terms of building circles. Now, if you're doing posts to just the public, say you're just starting to build your family and friends out there, the one thing I would recommend, and this was kind of said to me by a guru that's really more familiar with this than I am, though I think I've learned quite a bit, use public if you're talking about, hey, check out this new opportunity, check out this new whatever, go ahead and use public. Now, if you're going to talk about something more specific, maybe you're sharing a funny joke, maybe you're sharing something that's happening on for your day, go ahead and add your extended circles. Extended circles is everyone that's already in all of your circles, plus the people that are in their circles. So this is that extended family reach. Okay? This includes people that are in your circles and beyond, or you can just have people that are in your circles and not reach their people. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So that is what we have going on here. Now, I'm going to take you over to our Google community real quick because I want to show you guys this. Actually, let's go over this way. I have like 3 Google accounts. You'll have to forgive me. I like to be apparently everywhere at once. What I have on mine too, you guys probably noticed, this is actually an add-in for Google Chrome. All this really lets me do is that if I want to bold something, like I want to say, hey, and I want that to be bold, this is a little thing that will actually make that happen for me. If I want to make something italic, if I want to make something with a strike through, this is just kind of a little thing that Google Chrome allows you to add on. It's a plugin that you have for this overall thing. But if you ever want to bold something, just the little asterisks on either side of whatever you want to bold will make it black. So if you guys see here, that post, this is actually darker than what would ever be on the regular post. So if you really want to grab somebody's attention, this allows you to kind of do something bold and then have the rest of your post. Great for doing headlines, great for doing attention captures, that kind of stuff. So that's really important. That's a lot of fun to do also. So if you want to call somebody out, how do you tag somebody? Say you guys are in the EMP group, something happens and you need somebody's attention ASAP. Well, originally it was a plus sign.
Yeah.
Okay. But I've also discovered that Google decided that the @ sign would work also.
Oh.
So the @ sign works as well as the plus sign. Okay. So if you guys forget about the plus, the @ sign does work here also. Okay.
Oh.
Go ahead. Jared, did you have a question?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Just writing my notes at the same time here. So yeah.
That's why I'm recording this.
Yeah, I like to see things down too. So.
No, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
The other thing you guys get to do here is you guys can add your photos. You can actually, if you guys have a Google Plus and maybe you have an Android phone, you'll find that it uploads to Android up to your Google Plus account. Please note that your pictures are not visible to anyone else if they upload to your Google account until you make them public. I'll just reintegrate that again for anybody that has an Android phone, because you're automatically going to have to sign up for a Gmail account. When you take a picture with your phone, it uploads it to your Google Plus account. It's not visible to the public until you approve it to me. Okay? So just putting that out there. The other thing you can do is you can add YouTube videos, which I love. So you can put in YouTube videos, you can put in direct links, and you can even host events. And in these events, you can also include a Google Hangout. So that's kind of a neat little feature that you guys can do with this also. So there's a lot of really neat things that I like about Google. It's just, it's all right here. It's all very intuitive. It doesn't, you know, you can sit here and like and interact with people all day long. Okay? For you guys, for interaction-wise, it is important for communities. Very similar to Google or to Facebook, Google has amazing communities. And I'll tell you right now, my experience so far is that the Google communities have been much more interactive and much more business-driven than Facebook. I get a lot of traffic from Google Plus for my blog, for any links that I put out here. You can join a lot of communities on Google Plus. I mean, they have a vast array of just about anything and everything you can be looking for. Okay? So, and these are great because you'll meet some amazing people like I have. You'll get opportunities to become speakers and, you know, present and all sorts of crazy stuff if you're doing this right. The only reason I say that is because that happened to me. So that kind of interesting, fun stuff. So inside the Google, inside of any of the communities and so forth, and anywhere on Google Plus, let me tell you this. And this is my biggest secret, and I'm giving this away to you guys. When you see other EMP members talking about an EMP product, it is actually in your best interest to +1 them. The reason being is that that shows up on your news feed as content that you're reading, and it's another form of validation, kind of like another testimonial about you being an Elite Marketing Pro member. Okay, we're not in competition with each other as Elite Marketing Pro members. We are all doing something different with the system. Be willing to go out there and support each other. It really is in your best interest. Another cool thing, not only do you want to +1 the content, but you can also +1 the comment. And again, this gives another layer of authenticity to what's being said. It's kind of like having an interaction. And you want a lot of +1s. If you can get comments and your own replies with +1s, it's actually a really good thing. Because, well, here's what happens on Google Plus. Google Plus is attached to Google. So the more interaction you have, the higher your ranking goes inside of Google, so that if you're being searched for content, or you're being searched, or you're doing any type of searching out there and you build your circles will actually default into helping you find content for your search engine. So like if I were to go into, so if I were to Google Elite Marketing Pro, because of the people that I have circled inside of this, their content on Google Plus shows up underneath my Google feed. This is really powerful, guys. Think about this. If I'm telling you that Elite Marketing Pro is something that I'm tied to, and you're like, okay, well, I want to learn more, and you Google it, and you've got such a good circle that you're starting to see different people that you know pop up next to this content, that's going to be a huge thing for you, because then it's saying, okay, this person is in my circle, I'm seeing their content. If you want to know how to see without seeing those that are in your circle, you're going to hit this little button over here. It's called the Hide Private Results. And then it'll give you what it would look like to a person that is not in your circles, maybe looking at this for the first time. This is what they would see. This is the websites they would come across, and so forth. Make sense?
Yeah.
So just some of the basics behind Google Plus. I love this platform because of the fact that it's attached to Google, and it just gets you higher ranking. It gets higher ranking for your blog content. It gets higher ranking for your posts inside of Google Plus, because your posts are actually like mini microblogs. Everything you post inside of Google Plus is actually indexed as its own separate content. So getting those likes, getting that interaction on there will actually help you not only in their community, but also help you rank your content on Google.
So when you join communities, there'll be different requirements, or are like open or closed communities. Like this one here for the 60 Minutes was a closed community. A lot of open ones too. You just join on your own?
Yeah, there's tons of open communities.
Okay.
The reason that the Fast Start Challenge is closed is because we only want Elite Marketing Pro members inside of here.
Yeah.
So it depends on what you're trying to achieve. So like I have a lot of communities that are open, and I have some of my communities because they're my blogging students and we do private masterminds and so forth. Those ones are closed groups.
Okay.
Because the information that I share in there is private. They're paying members, and I don't want that information to get out.
Yeah.
So, like we talk about, Elite Market, the 60-day challenge closes on the 15th at midnight. At midnight, I actually lock the group down, which means you can't even access it, and you can't even request entrance into the challenge at that point. So I have a private group that right now you can ask to come in, but once I have that date, I can change access, and I can actually lock it down completely, so you can't get in unless I personally invite you into the group.
Oh, okay.
So that means it's not searchable. You can't find it. If I do hangouts or training or anything like that, it's only available to those that are inside that community. So the privacy part in here is really cool.
Yeah.
You can do anything from, like, I'm a blogger, so I always like to find, you know, blogging groups. And so you can go through here and just be like, okay, I want to search, you know, SEO blogging groups, and I just want to find different communities and so forth. And then it even gives you, oops, that did not work. Go back. Even I'm not. Based also on what you choose, you can go for recommended for you. So Google will go through and say, these are some that I see working for you. You can create your own communities. This is where you would go and search. So if I'm searching for blogging communities, and they'll tell you if they're open or closed. Usually if they're in here, these are all open communities that you just have to ask to join.
Yeah.
You know, they've got home businesses, they've got network marketing. I mean, they've got just about everything you could ever need in here. And that's really how versatile this system is. I'm going to see if you guys have any questions over here.
Okay.
Some refreshing the page. This is what you guys would see. And apparently you guys don't have any questions yet. You guys are all here learning about this, which is awesome. The other thing is, too, is this is going to be your notifications. So if you get notified of anything that's going on, just click here and you can X them out, you can drop them, you can click on them, whatever it is, but this is just your notification bar. If you click on your picture, it'll actually ask you if you want to go to your page, your personal. I have a couple of Google accounts due to the Google Face or the YouTube incident that happened, locked out one of my accounts, so I had to go around that one. So you learn, you live, you just move forward. It's exactly what happens. And then this little square here, if you guys set this up, you can actually set it up so that it has, you know, quick access to YouTube, quick access to your calendar, maybe your Gmail, whatever it is. This is just a quick access piece that's right there. So that's pretty straightforward. If you guys are using the Google, the business page, the Google Pages, which is actually what you guys are all part of right now, I actually set all this up underneath my Google Plus business page. So my EMP Coach is actually a business page for me. So I'm running all of my webinars and all the communities out of this page. So if you want to know if what I'm teaching you applies to your business and your personal, the answer is absolutely yes. So this is exactly what I see on my business page. It'll tell me my stream. It'll tell me who I'm connected to. Now with this one, you have to, you know, connect with me first. I can't go searching you out. And again, that's that whole business to privacy law. You don't want businesses invading your personal privacy. So if you guys want to connect with me, you guys kind of have to connect first. I can't just go after you and start typing messages on your wall and so forth. Like that just doesn't work on this one. But you've got the communities. So like I've set it up in here. And the communities are really easy to set up. They actually walk you through pretty quickly, step by step. But as you can see, I have got one community in here, which is you guys. Well, and that's just, you know, that's where I wanted it to be. This is all about you guys. This is all about, you know, focusing on helping you guys go through this next 60 days. And, you know, I wanted to focus in, so if I get emails or any type of social media requests, I know that you guys are in here. Are you guys having any questions about the tracking sheets or the community tracking sheets? Has that all been pretty easy to figure out so far?
Yeah. I use Excel a lot, so I've looked like any spreadsheet I've made up. So yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's very much like Word. It auto saves, so you guys don't need to like save anything or anything like that. Like it automatically does that. So that's kind of one of the benefits. As you guys got notified about this Google Hangout for today, this will be the same platform that I use when we're doing the live Q&As that we do every Thursday. So you'll get an invite from me for the live Q&A sessions. You're not going to get an email on it or anything else like that. It's actually going to be specifically to this group and this group only, so that you guys can jump in, and I'll make sure the Q&A is actually a little bit more accessible. And that way you guys can ask questions, we can get some answers going, create some really good dialogue. We've been known to bring in members as we go through the challenge to get information and feedback. You'll get actually an opportunity to get some live Q&A done by those that are presenting throughout this challenge too. And I've always been known to bring in surprise guests, just because that's how I roll. If I find somebody that I think you guys would benefit from learning from, I'm like, hey, can you come hang out with us? And everyone's like, sure. And I'm like, perfect. So that is kind of what we have set up in here. Any questions about the community, about anything you can and can't do in here? Nothing at this time, Jerry?
No, well, should we be interacting in the community too, like just posting different things? I guess as the class goes on, there'd be different things we could post, I imagine.
Yes, so as we go through this challenge, there are a couple of things that we have already kind of pre-set up into place, but I'm asking you guys not to post anything into them right now, because we actually have very specific homework each week that we have you guys going through. So like ask the chefs, ask questions. If you guys, as we go through and we see like your videos, your blog posts, your capture pages, and there's a couple extra things we're going to have you guys do, we want this to be as interactive as possible, so you guys are seeing what other people are doing, because I don't know about you, Jerry, but for me sometimes it's nice to see what other people are doing, just to kind of get an idea of maybe what I should be doing.
Yeah, it helps too to get some different ideas, and you see different people doing things, and might put a different spin on yours, or might help you get over some type of hump too. You might be stuck on something, you'll see someone do it some way, you say, oh yeah, I could do it that way.
Yeah. And this was actually something that kind of came about as we were going through the first 60-day challenge. Like, we didn't have some of this in place. And then because people were asking me, I'm like, hey, why don't you guys just post your first video and we'll give you some feedback. How does it look? What are you looking to do? All right, post your first blog. Let's take a look at it. Let's maybe look at it structurally, maybe look at it visually, and just kind of give feedback throughout the whole process. So that really helped a lot of people just kind of go, okay. So these are different things that you'll have over the 60 days, and everyone really wants to jump in it now. The problem could be is that we have so many new members coming through this challenge that they have no idea what you're asking them to do, because they were never part of the first challenge.
Yeah.
So you're like, well, can you review this? And they're like, well, what are we looking for? Because they don't know. Like, you're asking, 73 people right now who have never seen the first challenge. There's very few people from the first challenge that are in here. It's a lot of brand new people. So it's going to be fun to kind of walk through you guys again through this process. Yeah. And that's what I love about this. So, but yeah, go ahead and, interact. You guys are, I love the fact you guys are introducing yourselves. You're finding your accountability partners. And the accountability partner is really important. Having somebody, if you're just emailing each other once a day and saying, hey, I didn't do anything today. I got distracted with life. But the fact that you're making that commitment to that person to say, I did something or didn't do something, is really going to help you accelerate through this 60-day challenge. So whether you guys touch base on Facebook, whether you're touching base inside the Google, platform, whether you're sending an email, whatever you guys are doing, Skyping each other, whatever it is, that connection is going to be really, really important throughout this challenge. Okay, so it is important to find an accountability partner. It is okay to say, you know what, I didn't do jack today. You know, the kids got in the way, the wife got in the way, the husband got, you know, whatever it is, life happens. Trust me, the first 60 days challenge that Doug and I did, Doug was marrying his daughter. He was moving out of his house. I was traveling across the United States. I was doing webinars from my car. I mean, there were situations which were just insane in which we were trying to do this. You know, and I fell off track a little bit during that. I'm going to be totally honest. Towards the end, I even got a little like, ooh, you know. So by no means are, you know, Doug and I perfect. A lot of the people that were bringing through, I mean, they've had ups and downs. I mean, this is all about just learning from each other.
Yeah.
And I'm totally honest about this. I mean, I'm consistent because since I've started with Elite Marketing Pro, I've consistently made a check. Has it always been, you know, $1,000 check? Sometimes no, because I drop off. But I'm always bringing in a check every month. So that's kind of where I've, you know, played into this, because I'm like, you know, if I can continuously market this thing and show you guys what the tools you have, and you just have to pick and choose which tools you want and just have fun with this. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other thing I'm going to tell you guys is, though I'm talking with you guys about the Google Plus platform and how awesome and really amazing it is, if you find that you love Twitter or you love Facebook or you love YouTube more than anything else, and that's your area where you want to play, please play in one place and one place only. It does you absolutely no good whatsoever to try to be in 20 places at once, because you just can't humanly do it. Because you're looking for that relationship, you're looking for that interaction, and you don't get interaction if you're trying to post in 6 different places and try to keep up with that unless this is your full-time job. And even then, if you're doing this as a full-time job, you're probably going to need an assistant to keep up with 6 different platforms. Okay? So that's my word of advice for you guys on that part. Jared, do you have any other questions about this Google piece or anything else that how this all ties together in any way?
No, not right now. So yeah, I haven't really been using Google Plus that much, so I don't have enough experience with it to have come up with some good questions.
Okay. No, that's fine. Has this been helpful so far?
Yeah, it's given me some ideas on how to use it, and going to start searching out some communities there after we're done and see if I can get into some different things and see what they're doing on the communities and see if I can get in and get my message out through them.
Some of them are more interactive than others, I'll say that right now, but a lot of the times I have found that if I'm engaged with people, I get a lot more engagement back. Yeah. So usually I kind of sit and watch the group and I kind of comment and read some blog posts and so forth. And then through that, I start developing the relationships so that when I post in there, I'll get good feedback and good follow through just because of that relationship we start building in there.
Okay. Yeah.
So, like, they do like talking, they do like following you, they do like interacting with you. People are seeming to find this a very engaging platform overall.
Yeah.
And just in terms of the simplicity of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it ties to your Google Plus account, it ties to your Gmail account, it ties to YouTube, it ties to just about everything.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, your photos are in here if you ever want to share those ones, the people, that's the one thing I want to make sure you guys do know, your profile. Please make sure you have something on your profile, at least a picture or something. It's really important that people have an idea of who they're connecting with. Your About section also is really important. If you're a blogger and you have a blog or you have the EMP blog, please make sure you have that in here as a viable contact for your website that you have that people can reach out and find out more about you. So like I have links to my Google Plus account, my YouTube account, Twitter, my blog, Facebook, podcast, LinkedIn. I mean, let people be able to connect with you. It's really, really important. Fill out as much as you can. Let them connect with you via email. Let them, find you. Because the more that you create that is going to be important. And with anything, all of this is, you can edit it at any time. And I guess that's the one thing I love about the Google is that you can actually create your hyperlinks right inside of your content.
Mm-hmm.
So like if I'm sitting here and say I want a link and I want you guys to go to my blog, there's a link in here. I can bold, I can do some textual things in here to make certain things step out. Bragging rights, some fun stuff in here. I mean, make sure you guys share your story. The people like to connect with people that they can learn about or relate to. So we like to relate to people. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So don't be afraid. I mean, don't leave this blank. Don't use this and at least not have a picture. At least put your picture on there. At least put your picture on there. Let people know who you are.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have a huge following, but I got a lot of people that view a lot of my stuff. I'm heading for the. I'm trying to go for the 500,000 point before the end of the year. Is my goal for views, which I think I can totally reach.
Mm-hmm.
So, but increasing my following, increasing the people that I work with, and just increasing that communication with people. But this is really important just to make sure that you guys have this information on here. And if you guys are in network marketing, just saying out there in case anybody knows, this event section is actually pretty powerful because you can create either virtual or non-virtual events, and then you can invite your circles to those events. So maybe you're demographically trying to reach a certain area. Like I have people that are liking me, they're all from, I don't know, the Orlando area, right? Well, then if I create an event that I'm doing locally, I can let my groups know, my circles know to come out to those events and take part of them. So if I'm doing something, whether like on Facebook, you can invite people to events. You can do the same thing through Google+. But the cool thing is that it actually gets ranked in the Google search. So if you're trying to do something publicly, Facebook is Facebook. Google is like the world. So if you want to have people find you, and maybe for your network marketing company or a party you're throwing or something else, maybe an event your company's hosting locally, and you want to create the event and have people invite to it, well then, depending on your location and everything you put in there for this event, you can actually attract people locally because your events will show up on what's going on around your town. For people that are searching Google to find events to attend for maybe the weekend or that day, or looking for an opportunity, what's a local event that's going on, and how do I get to it?
Mm-hmm.
I think I see light bulbs going off on people that are hearing this, going, "Oh, that's brilliant!"
Mm-hmm.
Because as a network marketer, there's always some sort of home business event that's going on someplace, whether with your company or maybe something else, and you want to bring people to this, or get people interested and curious. This is a great tool to use. Mm-hmm. Again, another reason I'm a huge fan of Google is because I like when things are searchable and it helps me expand my reach faster.
Mm-hmm.
So these are just some of the basic logistics about Google.
Mm-hmm. And then the Hangouts too, if you're doing a Hangout, would you just post it on there for public as well if it's something that's more of a general instead of going towards a specific group to try to get more people to come in? Yeah. Yes,
I've done public ones. Beware of your audience. That's all I'm going to tell you on that one. If you're first getting started, public is fine. But as you grow, just be aware of who you're inviting in. But I used to do, I probably need to get back into this again, I would do a blogging hangout where I would sit there and do live Q&A with people and invite people in and just talk about, different aspects of having an MLM blog and so forth. Yeah. And it was just, it's kind of like doing a mini TV show. So it was like, maybe 5 or 10, 15 minutes long. It didn't have to be anything crazy. Mm-hmm. But it was like, hey guys, welcome back to today's, whatever, and in today's show we're going to talk about blah, 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 blah. I mean, you could do cooking shows with this, you could do instrumental, you could do rock bands. I mean, the ability to have your own like mini TV show through the Hangouts is really important.
Okay.
On that note, though, I want you to be aware of two things about a Hangout. There are Hangouts which are not recorded. So a Hangout by itself, a video Hangout, it would be just having you and me in a conversation with no ability to record. Okay, so maybe just something private, maybe something just for your mastermind, whatever you want to do, something like that. That would be something you can do. If
Even
you want
your accountability partner, if you wanted to get together and chat things out on Hangout like that.
Yeah, so start a video Hangout like this right down here. Be start a video Hangout. So if you clicked on that, and you just, this doesn't allow you to record, it's probably going to say, well, you're already in another Hangout, so you can't jump into this one.
Yeah.
But if you don't want it to record, if you just want to have a little face-to-face contact real quick, that's one way to do it, so that, you know, it's just you guys having a quick phone call kind of a thing. If you want to do something that's recorded, then you need to do a Hangout on Air. And the cool thing about Hangouts on Air is that you can either start them now or you can schedule them for later.
Yeah.
You can add your circles, you can make them public, you can make them visible. I use this a lot for my masterminds, so I'll create the Hangout on Air and I'll invite my mastermind groups to my Hangouts. So like I have one for my team within Elite Marketing Pro, so I invite my team into our weekly mastermind group where we sit there and we talk about Elite Marketing Pro and how we're using it. And then I've got one for my blogging clients, so we get together once a week and we sit down and we look at each other's blogs and we figure out ways to improve them and get them better and tweak them. So I definitely use this tool a lot for my personal mastermind groups, just as a way to communicate and screen share and just really help people out. Because I'm a visual learner, so it's nice to see things get done and kind of get feedback on that respect. So, and it crosses international lines, so I mean you can literally do a Hangout with anybody anywhere in the world, as long as they have internet access and access to Google.
Okay.
Okay.
And if you're doing a training, say you wanted to train on something, you could record it and then it would just post like a video more or less on YouTube?
Yeah, it would show up on your Google feed that you just did a live Hangout, and she'll tell you that you're doing a Hangout on Air. And then once the recording's done, it automatically gets saved to your YouTube account.
Oh, okay.
So it's saved to your YouTube account. You can go in there then. You can either download it for your personal use. You can keep it public or private. You can usually if you do it to the public, it's open to everybody. If you're doing a Hangout.
Yeah.
If you're doing it for just your community, it'll become up unlisted, and then you can also make it private, which means it's not searchable anywhere on the search engines to access it anywhere at all.
Okay.
So, you know, YouTube, again, the ability to utilize this platform to its full potential is insane. Like I've done podcast and a live Hangout on Air. So not only am I getting the audio recording, I'm also doing a video recording at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm multi-media tasking in that respect because I'm hitting two different audiences all at the same time. One's getting video, one's getting a podcast, and they're both getting it out simultaneously and live. Now that may seem a lot more. I've done a lot of stuff over the years in terms of what I've done and played with. So don't look at that and go, wow, I got to do all that too. I'm like, no, please don't. Again. These are toys, okay? These are just tools, and you don't need them all. It's nice to have them, but again, find the one platform, one area which you're really comfortable communicating to people with, and go that way. And then if you're really bored, you can always come in here to Hangouts and see what everyone else is saying, and then you can actually join people's Hangouts and ask questions and comments. And sometimes you'd be shocked on what. And there's always a Hangout going on somewhere in the world. Always. So they'll, like this guy will, you know, he looks like he's got a pretty good TV show going. He's got a microphone, so he probably did a little bit of podcasting or radio, and he's doing a live feed also. You know, so there's, you know, people do it for music, training. I mean, there's just all sorts of really cool tools in which you can use this for. Again, another big fan of this whole platform in terms of, and you'll find if you use this platform for even just 1 week consistently, you'll find out you get a lot more engagement, a lot more interaction, at least for me, because it doesn't have this analytics that Facebook has about who sees what, when, where, and how and where. It's just whatever's going on gets posted. Like, it's just constantly in real time posts.
Mm-hmm.
Which I like, because then I get to choose what I get to see. So, like, say if I go to my circles, right, and I'm like, okay, I want to see the people that are in my, people of interest. Like, these are the people that I want to know what's going on with them today. So I'll go to, I call my celebrity status. These are people that I want to, not know more about, find out what's going on. Mm-hmm. So if I I'm just curious about, hey, what's going on my newsfeed today with just, my celebrity status, like what's Mike Dillard talking about, what's Matt Crystal talking about, what are these people talking about? You can actually do that with your circles. So I just want my celebrity status to show up on my feed. And then only the people that are in that circle for a celebrity status will show up on that feed.
Okay.
So I can customize what I want to view and what I want to learn more about. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Okay, so, and you just take a couple of minutes and just kind of review people of interest, which is why I say, don't be afraid to like other people inside of the EMP community, and when you see them posting, give each other a boost, help each other out on here, because the more we talk about Elite Marketing Pro, the bigger the circle gets of who's getting exposed to it, and then they'll find the person, the more you talk about, the more consistent you're talking about, they're going to find you, and because they relate to you, they know you, they like what you're saying about it, and that's how these things go.
Okay.
Interesting, right?
Yeah.
For me, this honestly is probably one of the most engaging platforms, and I just like the way that the communities and the groups are set out, where I can set out different categories, so that if you clicked on a category, you can just find out what's being said inside that community on just that one category. All right, Mary's got a question. How do you invite people who are not in your community to Google on Hangout on Air? Mary, I think we just covered that one in terms of whether you use your circles or not. So if you want to invite people that are not in your community, just make it public. And basically then it's up to the people whether they decide whether they want to learn more about it or not. Mm. But again, be careful with that, because you can also start excluding people from your circle based on the content in which you share also. So it is better to start building your circles and doing it now, especially if you're brand new on here. Start creating your circles now.
Yeah.
It's going to be benefit. Like for me, for my circles, for my EMP coaching group, I mean, this is really how simple I have it for you guys. My groups consist of EMP Challenge, so everyone that's in the EMP Challenge is getting added into one of my circles, and then those that are in my particular team, Team on Fire, get added to my other circle. So I know who of my team is taking part inside this challenge, and then I get access to everybody else inside the challenge. So if I want specifically to write something to you guys or know who you guys are, I have you guys just separately set up. So I would recommend finding everybody in the circle and start connecting and start building that that web out of people.
Okay.
It's only going to benefit you in the long run, and it's really simple. So like if I go in here and it says add person, literally there's a drop box that drops down, and you just click on them. Like it's really like, okay, this is this person here, and I want to add them to the challenge. Actually, and then if you want to know if two people, you asked if I could do multiple. So I have Jeff Rees in both my groups, so now he gets access to 2 of my circles.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, it's simple enough.
Yeah, it's real simple. I mean, I just, and I always tell people, I said, your best thing is to connect with each other, because honestly, you guys are all going through the same process. You're all going through the same struggles. You're all trying to learn how to build your business. And the best thing you can do is that as a community together is support each other and help each other move through any obstacles. That's why this community is open to you guys forever for asking questions, getting a little bit of help, you know, getting reviews. As we go through the 60 days, you guys will get homework, you'll get feedback, and that's going to be a really big bonus to all of you.
Yeah.
Because we like to rock it and make it awesome. So, all right, any other questions you have? Anything else you'd like to know a little more about?
No, it's quite a bit for 1 hour there, so yeah.
I know. I can't help myself. I tell myself I'm going to keep this like so, and I'm like, oh, but it does this and this and it's like EMP. It's like, oh my gosh, did you know you could do this and this and this with it? I'm like, wait a minute, really? I'm like, yes. It's so cool. Like, here, my kid in a candy store. Let me show you all the cool stuff that just happened.
Yeah.
So that's really the basics of what it is that you can do with this system, how it works, how you make sure you guys tag people. I will tell you right now, the most important word in the entire human language anywhere in the world is a person's name. It has the single most important ability to pull somebody in and get their attention faster than anything else you'll ever do online. So if you specifically want some question answered, if you want something done, don't abuse this, but it does have the ability to capture at least the attention of. I don't want you just using it all the time. Be careful, you know, that much power can be dangerous. But just know that that is a way to get a hold of people, contact people. If you're replying to a comment, come back with their name in it. Don't just comment back, but actually comment with their name in it. You'll get better interaction and probably more communication from people when you do that. Okay? I mean, I could literally teach Google for like the next 3 hours and tell you guys all the cool stuff you could possibly do with it to build your business. But I don't think anybody has that kind of time, and we've already went over quite a bit in a very short period of time.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so this is the fun that we get to have.
Yeah.
And it's just, like I said, it's a great place to play. This is one of the reasons that we brought it over. This is one of the reasons why EMP moved away from Facebook to Google Plus, is because it is a much more aggressive platform in terms of being able to be accessed and engage in and do all these hangouts and use the video portion and everything else. That is, you know, so a lot of us you're starting to see a lot of people that are getting frustrated with having to pay for everything on YouTube and not getting the interaction they used to on their fan page, start to migrate over to Google Plus, because we're getting much more traction and grip now inside the Google Plus communities.
Okay.
So, not that everyone's going to leave Facebook, they're just not. But I love Facebook for marketing purposes. I hate Facebook for everything else. And I love Google Plus for just about anything and everything. Yeah. Because I love the fact that if I have a Facebook account, like if I have a Google, I told you guys I have quite a few Google accounts. I can literally just go here and I can slide between all my accounts and all my pages right here. It's even easier to do on my phone. On Facebook, I feel like I'm jumping through hoops to get anything done. Like I mean, to have 2 different Facebook's accounts is almost like having 2 different, you know, arms. Where with Google, everything is really integrated nicely, that you can slide between different accounts, you can slide between different pages, and it really just, the ease and flow is so much easier. Not that I'm trying to sell you guys on Google Plus, but this is just what I find out about it.
Yeah.
So, all right, so we discussed how to do posts, we discussed about tagging people, we talked about doing links, videos, and so forth. Utilizing these tools is absolutely kind of a cool thing. If you guys add video, you have the ability to add your YouTube video. Wow, you're getting a call. You can do the URLs, you can do your YouTube videos, you can record a video straight from here, actually, and put it right into your post if you guys are froggy enough to do that one. Or you can upload a video that you previously have done. So there's nothing you can't do with Google+. I've tried. I've pretty much tried to figure out everything I can do.
Yeah.
So that is the joy and beauty of this system.
Yeah.
So you have no other questions at this time? Do you feel a little more comfortable with this system right now?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I know more about it now for sure than I did before. So yeah, it's great to have gone through all that and get someone who's used it before to show you, because well, you can read different things or whatever, but I don't know. Find it better when someone's actually using it and showing you. I learn it a bit better that way. So.
Yeah. And I'm the same way. I like the hands-on. Like if I'm trying to learn something, Mike Dillard had a mastermind group that he opened up earlier this year, and one of the first things he had for his group was actually they did a tutorial about a lot about the Google Plus community, and then from there it was just me asking questions and going, okay, what else can I do with the system? What other boundaries can I push in terms of building my business and using this as another platform beyond just, you know, Facebook. Everyone talks about YouTube, which I think is good too, but how do you reach more people faster, and how do you build those connections quicker? I think it is actually easier for me to do it through the Google Plus community. And I've met, there's one of my good friends that's with me in EMP, and just, you know, we've known each other for 2 years now. We met through a hangout that I did about blogging.
Okay.
He watched me talk about blogging, how to use it to build your system. He was watching that one. And he's like, hey, so he reached out to me, he found me, and we've been friends ever since. I've been working with him, helping him build his blog, his business. I mean, you just never know the relationships you're going to build just by the fact of doing a little bit of video. Like, so it's, this system for me has created more personal contacts than just Facebook. Because I can, like, I would never have known who you were and heard your voice, Jerry, if I was on Facebook, right?
That's true, yeah. You would have had this picture of me, one little picture, but that's it, yeah.
And I get a bunch of words and some comments, and I may see a video or something from you, but the fact that I can bring you into a Google Hangout and we can sit here and have this conversation, and you can ask questions, it just makes it an easier conversation to have. So now when I see you or when I hear you, I can kind of put your face and voice to what I'm typing now, and I get that little more personal interaction with what I'm doing now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So some of the cool stuff about this system.
Yeah, yeah, more personal touches are better, so yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I like. All right, well, we are definitely at the hour mark now with this, and I don't want to take up any time. It is the weekend, it's a Sunday, or could be a Monday for those that are down in Australia and so forth. I mean, we have people from all over that are going through this challenge. So, but thank you guys again for hanging out with me. Mary, I see that you popped in here. Yeah, Mary popped in here. Mary's one of my EMP members also with me, so she's in the UK.
Hi, Gary.
Hi.
How are you?
Oh, great. And yourself?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. We are partners.
Yeah, that's it. It's good to see you as well. Yeah, as opposed to picture. Yeah.
So,
Okay.
see? We get to meet all sorts of cool people, and this is really what I love about this.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, Mary, did you learn anything new?
Yeah, I have difficulties before. For example, when I started, when I called you about I can't go on air, now I can go on air.
Awesome.
I sort it out, and before I didn't know, for example, how to invite people out of your circle if you want to invite them in to Google Hangout on air.
You got to circle people in. The only way to bring people in is either to circle them or make it public.
Okay. Okay.
But you do definitely want to build your circles. You want to invite people in.
Yeah.
It's you don't just, you kind of want to accept people into your world. And you
Okay.
do have the ability to ban people from your world too with Google Plus. So if you get in like crazy comments like I've been getting and some of the stuff that I've gotten, I'm like, and you are banned from ever commenting on my Google Plus page ever again. So you can have that control over who you bring into your world, and that's why the profiles are so important. Because I look at profiles. I want to know who I'm inviting into my circle, if it's somebody that's relevant or somebody that's irrelevant. And I don't want to bring people in that, you know, aren't going to benefit from what I have to say.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Yes, I don't want to invite, for example, because now we are in 60-day challenge and people didn't sign in the challenge to invite them to my circle and they're not in yet. So it means that I have to create another circle outside to give them just a test a little bit if you want to join us in, or what can I do?
Yeah, that's like we were talking about, Jerry and I were talking about earlier, about creating a circle. Like if people that you're finding that are leads inside your EMP back office, they have a Gmail account on their back of their email, like their email is a Gmail. You can actually search that Gmail name onside of Google Plus, and then put them inside of a circle that says maybe this is an Elite Marketing Pro lead, maybe this is a What's Working Now lead, or you can put it all together, and that way if you have something that's going on, you can invite those people because they showed an interest somewhere because now they're a lead of yours, and you can invite them into different things that are going on, but you can make it so that's just that circle of leads. That way you have a way of staying in contact with them without really offending them, but maybe letting them know that you're still there, that you're actively, you know, chit-chatting with them and so forth.
Okay.
And that's something that we're also going to cover inside of the social media aspect in week 2. We're going to talk a little bit more about how you post for purpose, how you use these tools. But you're kind of getting a little bit of a sneak peek, which is why I did this. So I want you guys to kind of understand what this Google Plus is all about, and really beyond just the basics of joining a community, how you guys can use this to really build each other and build your business through your circles of connection. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions?
No.
No?
No. We're just ready for tomorrow.
What we kick off? Yeah. So again, I'm reiterating. I'm going to reiterate this again. You guys have until midnight tomorrow night to get people into this challenge. So how do you do that? You talk about that you're a member of Elite Marketing Pro. You're about to kickstart a challenge. If the window is closing for them to go through this challenge with you, you're going to hold their hand. You're going to learn from top leaders how to build your business online. But you only have until the 15th to get in, because once this challenge starts, we close the doors. We're not accepting any new EMP members into this group. We're done, and I'm not sure if we're going to offer the 60-day challenge again. This actually could be the last time this challenge takes place. So this really is your opportunity. If you want to understand and learn how Elite Marketing Pro is, work with the top leaders, get information from Vitaly, from Andrew, from the top lead generator in this community, to the top salesperson in this community, to even special guests that I'm bringing in. Now is the time to get inside this challenge. Now is the time to get into EMP. It's 60 days. At the worst of this, you spend $100 to learn how to build your business. At the best of this, you learned how to build and duplicate and remake back an extra $500, $600, maybe $1,200 during that time period. Okay? So get excited that you're in here. Get people excited. Start posting. Every time we do a hangout, tell people that you were just involved in a hangout. Let people know that you're learning and growing. All right? Because if you're not telling people what you're doing, nobody has any idea what you're doing. So if you do a hangout, tell people. Tell them before you get in there. Tell them what happened to you after you got there. You know, tag people if they're inside your circle of what you learned from them. You know, help build each other up in terms of elevating this group, because this really, EMP is really a top group of leaders that are building and helping you grow your business. I mean, at the end of the day, Tim Irway wants more millionaires to come out of the system than any other lead system out there. He's really striving to create viable business people that understand how to use the system to create any business in the world because of the training they get from Elite Marketing Pro. So whether you're opening up a lemonade stand and you make $6 million with a lemonade stand, that's what Tim wants. That's what Tim wants. Like, he just wants to help and empower people to know what they need to do to build their business. I mean, he is a teacher at heart. He's amazing. I've had lunch with him. I've met him. You know, he lives 45 minutes, an hour and 15 minutes from me, literally. I buy him lunch every now and then because it's worth it to buy him lunch.
Yeah.
You know.
Just one last question.
Yes.
Is it 12 o'clock in your time or in our time?
For what?
For
It'll be 12 o'clock my time, Eastern Standard Time, which for you, Mary, makes it 5 a.m. in the morning.
morning.
So you have until 5 a.m. in the UK to get this done. You have until 9 o'clock in Pacific Time, and if you're going to Hawaii, you have until 4.
Okay.
Because I'm only staying up so late in the day, okay?
Okay.
But 12 o'clock my time, I'm going to be sitting there, and I'm all of a sudden, the group's going to close down. You're not going to be able to search it. You're not going to be able to find it. You're going to have to send me emails begging. And you're going to have to, like, bribe me somehow to get inside this community. It could be that bad. It really could be. So, all right, any other questions, guys?
No, I'm good.
All right, guys. Well, I'm going to say good afternoon or good night or good morning, wherever you are in the world. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you guys at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday for the opening celebrations of the 60-day challenge with Andrew. And his training for this avatar is going to be off the hook. Like, I can't wait to pick his brain and then get him to do the live Q&A with us to get even more information from him. So stay tuned, be excited, and we'll see you guys on Tuesday.
Yeah, on Tuesday. Bye.